Reconnect with Rockers. We are connecting for the first time. I am so excited to have Tyler Bryant on with me because you know what? I'm a fan. Like, I love when I'm able to be a fan and still be able to hang out with great new artists. So welcome. You look amazing. I love the Van Halen shirt.
Represent, you know.
Represent. Give me a couple of thoughts, a couple of quick thoughts before we get rolling on Edward. I always feel the need to call him Edward, you know, because he's so there. And what he meant to you as a guitar player.
Well, so my first electric guitar was a miniature, like children's version of the Frankenstrat.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this at the time because I was obsessed with just old blues and Elvis. And I remember the first time I saw a video of him playing, I was like, oh my God, I have his guitar. And I think it just kind of poured gasoline on the fire that I'd been trying to keep lit. And, you know, he's one of my biggest heroes. He's someone that I've, you know, always really admired and respected. And, you know, I'm just grateful that to have, you know, been alive while he was doing it. You know, I think that's something that, you know, if I ever have a kid, I'll be like, yeah, you know, I was around whenever Eddie Van Halen was around. You know, he's just a legend, and he's you know, love to the family, the bandmates, and to the fans. You know, because he was important to all of us.
I say there's certain bands in life where you listen to them and you love them. And then there are other bands that are the culture of sort of your being and growing up, you know, and speaking to a lot of New Jersey people, it was really a culture of the New Jersey rock listener to be a Van Halen fan. So loving the shirt. All right. So before we talk about crazy days and new music and quarantine, I wanted to ask you this question because there are two things that I think of when I think of Tyler Bryant. So I wanted to ask you, pen or pick? What came first, songwriting or guitar playing? Because you've always been a guy who's definitely had that sensibility for being a great songwriter, and people think of you both ways.
Oh, well, that's very, very kind of you to say. It was the pick first, and it all stemmed from a video of Elvis Presley. I think ultimately it was before it was the pick. It was just me being a child who just needed attention from everybody. You know, I just was a ham, and the guitar kind of gave me something to carry around. And then one day I heard the blues and I was like, I can use this guitar to make music. And then music started resonating on a deeper level, you know, within my heart and soul. And that started sort of taking over the rest of my life. And then all of a sudden songwriting was a thing, which I can honestly say, thank you, Tom Petty, for that. Because that was the inspiration for me wanting to write songs.
Yeah. And a great inspiration. I mean, oh my gosh, Tom Petty. I was like thinking, do I wear my Rival Son shirt or my Petty shirt? I was going back and forth, and the Petty's long sleeve, and I was like, I'm a little warm today. I'll do my Rival Sons, but hey, there's never enough Petty. You can just never have enough Tom Petty in your life.
I love the Rival Sons as well. You know, like Jay is one of my best friends in this world. And
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. We met in a hotel lobby like a week before the Shakedown started a tour with the Rival Sons. And,
yep, I know you guys were on the road. I didn't know you guys were that close.
Yeah, we've been buddies for many years now, and yeah, I have nothing but great things to say about those guys.
Yeah, phenomenal band. So let's talk about Crazy Days. Here's what I love about it. I think it's a tune that we needed right now. It's just a song that you hear it. I played it today in the 1 o'clock hour on my show, and by 20 after 1, I had 3 people that were calling me going, what was that song? What a great tune. It made me feel so happy. It reminded me of better days gone by. So talk to me a little bit about it. Even when you watch the video, you get that sensibility, a song that is important for us, I think, right now.
Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting because I feel like it's one of the more positive feeling songs I've written in a very long time. And
yes,
it seems a bit ironic because it was written during such a time that's filled with negativity and, you know, chaos and madness and stress and pressure. And that was the first song I wrote whenever we went into lockdown. And it was like, I thought that lockdown was going to be over really quickly. I just thought, oh, this is a thing. We're not going to have concerts for a week. This sucks. I didn't realize that the world was turning into kind of, you know, what it is. And I just kind of closed my eyes and imagined going to a concert, staying out, maybe having a little too much fun with my friends, those sort of wild nights that we love, and the song was written so quickly. I posted a video of it on YouTube because I thought, yeah, man, this song's making me feel good. Maybe it'll make someone else feel good. And then our record label hit me up and said, hey, we should release this. And so it sort of served as a catalyst for our new album. And we made the album completely in lockdown. And I made that video myself because I just started missing playing live so much that I started going through footage and reminiscing, because there's all of these video clips where I'm jumping into a crowd and 15 or 20 people are wrapping their arms around me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's something that just feels a little bit out of reach right now. So I just wanted to kind of reminisce on it.
And the record is called Pressure, which is amazing. So talk to me a little bit about putting this record together. Also, because I think you spent a lot of your quarantine time pretty well. I mean, you were in the studio and just putting together a plethora of songs.
Yeah. I mean, the record, we made the record in 20 days. I kind of wish that we were making another one already, because it really gave me something to put my hope and my energy into. And it was great for me to have somewhere to go and get away from the news and, just sort of the pressure of the world, because everyone is feeling pressure right now, some way, shape or form. And I think I really started feeling pressure when all of our tour dates got canceled. And it was also like, hey man, we're fish out of water right now. We gotta jump back in the river. And this record was our way of doing that. And I'm so proud of how it turned out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you too, because you have been such a road warrior over the years. I think the last time I saw you here in Jersey was at the Stone Pony Summer Stage with Rival Sons. And,
Yep.
You're always out, always touring. So what has it been like to sort of have that part of your life, boom, the curtain goes down on that part?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been an adjustment. It's definitely been an adjustment. I haven't spent this much time at home since I was a little kid. I moved to Nashville when I was 17 years old and started the band that I'm in now. And we spent that whole year on the road and pretty much every year since then. So it's strange to go from playing 100 to 200 plus shows a year to playing. We've done no shows this year. We recently filmed our album release show that we're going to broadcast on October 16th on Bryant.com. So that'll be kind of a cool way for us to connect with our fans. There's going to be a live chat that we can talk to people while it's going. But I've kind of had to just redirect my energy to recording. I basically just took the little bit of money I'd saved and went and bought a bunch of recording gear, and it's helped The Shakedown make this Pressure album. And I was just able to engineer a record for my wife's band, Lark and Poe, which is great. It's like I'm getting to just kind of redirect some of the creative.
Yeah. And she was on this record too, correct?
Yeah, she sang on Crazy Days, actually.
Right. Awesome.
Voice at the top there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's been good to be able to spend time at home with my wife and kind of there have been a couple family events that have come up that normally I would have missed. And I haven't taken it lightly that I've been able to attend and be there for my family, because that's a thing that you kind of sacrifice sometimes when you're gone all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about a couple of tracks on this release too. Holding My Breath, which is such a great tune. And definitely, a little more, like you said, Crazy Days is the more optimistic song for you. Holding My Breath is definitely very Tyler Bryant, Shakedown, vintage Tyler and company. So talk to me a little bit about the tune. I love it. I love the playing on it. I love that you've got Charlie on it. So give us a little precursor for people.
Well, so that song is another one that was written before the pandemic, believe it or not. And it was a song that was basically saying, I'm holding my breath for better days. I'm anticipating something better than what's happening right now. Which I think is, people have been feeling that since people have existed, and we'll feel it after the pandemic's over and after a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with is over, because it's like if it's not one thing, it's another thing. And I think that the whole point of that song is to remain hopeful. You know, I'm holding my breath for better days. I know they're coming. It's even though it sometimes is like a little frustrating to acknowledge that things aren't quite the way that you would want them to be. I think it's important to stay hopeful, and that sort of was the intent with that song, and musically as well. You know, I think I played the guitar solo on that probably like well over 100 times, just trying to get the right emotion to come through, and I was so pleased with the way it turned out that I thought it should be better. So I asked Charlie Starr from Blackberry Smoke to come and
Right.
and
Is
sing the
that
high
really
harmony.
true? You loved it, but you thought there was something missing, you know. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, well, it was a thing where we imagined it having a high harmony, and it was just Graham, the other guitarist in the Shakedown, sang the high harmony. It sounded really good. And then I woke up one morning and was just thinking, oh, Charlie would crush that. So unfortunately, Graham got the boot on the high harmony, and Charlie did it. And it was because Blackberry Smoke's one of my favorite bands.
Did you just give him like a buzz or a text or something and say, "Would you want to be on this?"
Yeah, I shot him a text, and he told me, because we have like a little like guitar nerd online feud, if you will, where he's like a Gibson guy and I'm a Fender guy. So
That's great.
he told me if I would publicly denounce Stratocasters on my Instagram that he would sing on the song. So I did.
Did you really?
I did. I should
For a
delete
short
that.
time. For a short
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, everybody knew it
Right.
was not, but it got him to send me the vocal. So
Yeah. And he was, I mean, just perfect. I mean, just absolute perfection. That's why I brought up that tune, because I'm like, for anybody who's getting pressure, and if you haven't heard it, you've got to check out this tune. You know, I mean, it's sequenced so well, you know, the record, where it's just sort of one feeling and emotion going into the next, going into the next. It's almost like conceptual in a way, but I know it's not a concept record, you know, but I can hear
so
that.
glad that. I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because there was a lot of thought put into it. Like Pressure was written before the pandemic, before 2020 started unraveling, and but as we were in lockdown making this record, like one morning I had the idea: what if the record started with a guy being me, just screaming, "I feel the pressure, I feel it," like and kind of trying to sonically bottle up that aggression, and then shake up the bottle and then unleash it whenever the band kicks in, and then from there you just kind of go on a journey of a lot of different emotions, a lot of which I've personally felt during this time, and I can't imagine I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
So it's it was definitely a cathartic process for me, and I hope that journey will hopefully make other people feel good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those records you put on. It's a top to bottom experience, listening experience. So, I'm so glad I said that, because then I thought to myself, why did you say that? It's not a concept record, but I'm glad you had that sort of vision for it, you know?
Well, it ends with a song called Coastin', which is a
Yeah.
very lighthearted, like, you got to keep coasting through it all. And that was sort of, we thought, if it's going to open with this, it has to end with this, which is sort of like the period on that sentence. And
Yeah, yeah.
so that's cool that you picked up on that.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. I want everybody to get it and enjoy it. I think music gets us through times, you know, where we feel that we just can't go, you know, another minute. You know, for me, like the last week, we got a new AC/DC record, you know, and I was like, a new AC/DC record. Oh, this is fantastic. You know, there's just something when you're a music lover that so many things can just sort of pick you up and move you on. And
Yeah.
you know, when I heard your record, I was like, this guy belongs on WDHA. And Crazy Days is a tune that a lot of people are digging and calling for and hitting me up about, and super curious about you if they have not had the privilege to be able to see you live. So I'm so excited. I can't wait till we get you live back again, and you can come out to WDHA and come out to Jersey, because you got a fan base out there, my friend.
Well, I just can't wait to get back and play these songs live, and hopefully we can maybe come make some music there in the studio.
Oh, I would love that. Oh, and by the way, before I let you go, I want you to talk a little bit about the Shakedown, because I'm a sucker for a good three-piece. There's nothing I love better than a
Yeah.
three-piece band making a lot of amazing noise. It's my
Yeah.
favorite thing on the planet. I've been, a Rush geek growing up, and I love the
Right.
Winery Dogs, and I just love everything three-piece.
We do have some killer talent in the band. We've been a four-piece for a long time, and then in February, Noah Denny, the bass player for the last 8 years, left the band to follow his initial passion, which was playing drums. And he totally handled it like a professional and a man, and sort of like the brother that we knew we had in him, because we spent so much time on the road, and he just had to follow a different passion. It was time, and so we made this record as a three-piece. Graham and I sort of took turns with the bass duties.
Yeah, because you became a bass player all of a sudden. It was like, hi, here's a bass. I'm ready to go. Let's play bass.
Yeah, I know. So when we would jam, it would basically be either me on bass or Graham on bass, and we would just kind of take turns doing it, and it was really fun. But I will say we do have a surprise for fans for our album release show, because there are two guitar parts on each song on the record. So like, I'm not playing bass at a Shakedown show. Graham's
No,
not
you
playing.
can't. People would go crazy. I mean, not that you're not a good bass player, but people want to see you play guitar. You can't just play bass.
I mean, and that's the other thing that Noah brought to the band was a beautiful high harmony. And so we needed someone who could do that on the record. That's why I thought, oh, who are the two best singers I know? My wife and Charlie Starr.
So it has been so great having you on. Tyler, thank you so much for hanging out with me on Reconnect with Rockers. Just a pleasure. I feel like I've known you forever. And again, I cannot wait to see you and the band out there. Everybody get Pressure. You are going to love it. It's a top to bottom listening experience. And I call like certain artists quality artists, because I just think everything is there. The boxes are all checked. Monster musicianship, great songwriting, just a super cool presence. I mean, look at you, got the Van Halen shirt on, the jacket on, a total rock star. We need more rock stars. So thank you so much, Tyler Bryant. Say hi to the guys. Say hi to everybody in Shakedown. And we will see you back in New Jersey, hopefully sooner rather than later.
I can't wait, and thank you for showing us some support. And we can't wait to come and play for you in New Jersey.
DHA's Reconnect with Rockers is powered by Advantage Contracting and by Karis Lock Company.